Hey guys, welcome. This is Brad Krantz. Thanks for joining me today, Wednesday, on my tips for success. Today I'm going to be talking about tips for success in both life and business. I hope you get some value out of this. I'd love to hear back from you, and I'm going to leave a couple questions at the end here. But tips for success in both life and business. Number one, excuse me here. Drink lots of water. Just kidding. Number one is adding value. No matter what you do, where you go, you can't go wrong if you add value. Simply put, value is anything that people are willing to pay for. And I learned two lessons on this. One is I was looking to get in business for myself a year and a half ago. I was listening to John Maxwell, his leadership, and he talked about his goal is to add value to people. I thought, well, that's something that I could do. I wasn't sure how he's going to do it, but I said, okay, I think that's a good goal, to add value. Secondly, is when you get onto social media like this here, really you need to add value first and foremost. You've got to add value, you've got to give. You got to give, you got to add value. I'm going to talk about this Friday, but you don't want to be selling, you want to be building your brand. And the way to do that is by adding value to people. And again, my heart's hope and desire is this video will somehow add value to you and help you in your life and in your business. So that's number one. I think that's great to have that as in the forefront of your mind as a mindset, adding value to people. Then you just have to figure out how you're going to do it. Number two is follow your passion. Okay. You could read numerous of biographies on people, on great people. And I think from my own personal perspective, I've realized that those who achieve greatness professionally and personally follow their passion. So what's your passion, guys? What is your vision? Figure out what that is. If not, what are you going to do to find out, right? If you don't know what your passion is, if you know what your passion is, are you following it? So there's a couple questions there for you. Number three, be extraordinary. I like this. We don't hear about that too much, do we? If you want to do the same thing as everybody else, it's hard to be successful. Always heard, you want to, there's 100%, but you want to be part of the 98% or part of the 2%. I think you're going to have to be in the 2% here. It's important to find the edge and then push past it. And that is how you become noticed and get what you want. Is it money, meaningful relationships, or a sense of personal accomplishment? The extraordinary person attracts them all. How are you extraordinary? If you just feel ordinary, what are you going to do to become extraordinary? And again, fourth is start now. I'll just leave it said like that. But there's many factors that go into success, both professionally and personally, but you have to take action. You could have the biggest dream, biggest vision in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing will happen. I like to use this illustration. There's 4 frogs sitting on a log. One of them decided to jump off. How many are left? 4. He only decided. So you've got to make a decision, but you have to take action and act upon it. So starting now, right? There's no time like today. Fifth is hunt for good mentors. This is kind of a weird topic because we don't hear too much about this. I've talked about this a bit on my YouTube channel, on our Saturday morning show, but people who make it usually credit their success to a mentor or a group of mentors who really help them, guide them where they are, right? Mentors have gone down the road that you want to travel and can guide you to get to your destination faster than if you went it alone. So you need to find a healthy mentor, right? Someone who's got their life together. Again, I've said this before, but if somebody has their life's all messed up, they're probably not going to be a mentor for you. They've got too much baggage, too much stuff going on. So find the right person. But let me just ask, do you have a mentor in your life? If not, ask yourself what barriers are preventing you from finding or establishing a mentoring relationship. And if we can be in help, if I can be of help in that space, please let me know. Reach out on that. Okay. 5 is build a support group. This kind of goes along with that. While mentors serve kind of to guide us and review your past actions and plans and all that, a support group are people, your companions, friends, and stuff that help you during the actual execution of your plan. It might be a mastermind group, which we definitely have with our 3LE team, or an accountability partner. It doesn't matter what it is, but here's a question for you. Who's in your support group? Okay. 7, personally know your finances. I want to talk about this because this is really big on my heart. Numbers scare people a lot, right? Start talking about assets, liabilities, net worth, and all that, and people's eyes kind of just goes over the head. They glaze over. If you're one of those people run away from numbers, please stop running because you're hurting yourself. Okay. If you want to be financially independent, or get your finances in order, you need to know how to keep score. Okay. If you have your own business and you want to successfully invest, finances will tell you how well you're doing and reveal the health of your business. And we'll do it on a personal level too. If you don't understand finances, you have to learn. There's a lot of great resources out there. Again, feel free to reach out to me if I can be of certain help. I don't know your specific situation, but get around people who do have healthy finances and know what they're about and how to deal with it. If you got a good CPA or financial planner, they can be good resources for you there. Do you know your net worth? If you're bad at numbers, what specifically makes you believe that? And how can you improve your financial intelligence? I would suggest Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, for starters, because I think it'll get you in the right mindset there. But finances are really important, guys, right? We all have to live, and it takes money to live. Okay. Number 8 is get help. Now, this isn't like you need to go see a psychologist or get therapy or anything, but if you try to do everything yourself, that can be good in some ways, but it can also be bad, right? It's important to know all aspects of your life and business, but that does not mean you have to do all the tasks involved to maximize your potential in those areas. Find people that can help you, right? If you see a turtle on a fence post, you know that he didn't get there by himself. That's from John Maxwell, by the way. At least that's where I've heard it. Somebody else has probably said it. But how are you spending your time? Here's some questions for you. Or is it doing things that you're awesome at? Okay, if not, what are you doing that you can outsource or delegate? What's stopping you from outsourcing or delegating? Okay, figure that out. Maybe you need to take a strengths finder test to find out what your real strengths are. Okay, that can be a helpful resource. You can put that in your search engine, check out strength finders. 9 is learn sales. This is gonna be kind of a weird one, but I was in professional sales for 30 years, so I'm gonna talk about this. I know people cringe when they hear the word sales. I'd never be in sales. It's a sleazy job. They think about the used car salesman, and that's exactly the type of thinking that stops people from being their best. Sales is really nothing more than persuading someone of something. I'll say 2 things about this. Is one, it requires people skills. If you're lacking on those or want to know how do I develop them, I would suggest getting Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read that and put into practice what he talks about, because sales is really, you've got to be able to relate to people and like people and have people like you, and that will help you. So people skills. 2 is ask questions. Sales really isn't about some gimmick, some mantra that you repeat, or getting somebody to sign the deal or close them. It's about asking questions. How can you help that person? How can you serve them? What are they looking for? And just ask them questions. Okay. So when you hear sales, what associations come to your mind? Okay, here's some questions. Are they positive or negative? Do you know how to sell effectively? Okay. And if not, how do you plan to learn? Guys, if you got a relationship, significant other, spouse, you have sold somebody something right there. Okay, whether you believe it or not. So just think about that. But sales is important. I think it's a great skill to have, and it's not what most people think. Again, people always demean sales, and it's unnecessary. If you're a professional salesperson, it's not about always closing people. It's not about some mantra and gimmick to get people to buy your stuff. That's a sleazy, cheap salesperson. But a professional, again, they got people skills and they ask questions. Guys, okay, reach out to me. I'm an expert on it. I was in it for 30 years. 10, lastly, is be resilient, right? Things rarely work out the way you plan. I talk about this from a financial standpoint. One of the things I read from a book I read about the psychology of money by Morgan Housel said, you got to plan on your plan not working according to plan, right? There's always going to be distractions, stumbling blocks that you have to deal with when you're on the road to success. So the key point is, remember, is to persist and develop the courage to move on, even when everything is telling you to give up. Right? Persistence is, I call, one of the 3 P's of entrepreneurship. So how often, some questions here, how often do you quit because things are tough? Would you describe yourself as an unshakable optimist? Do you view problems as opportunities or warning signs? How do you view failure, and are you making sure that you don't make the one mistake people make when learning from their mistake? Okay. Guys, I hope this helps. This isn't an exhaustive list, but I think it does provide a good starting point for what successful people do. Again, I'd love to get your feedback on this, and maybe 1 or 2 of these points that are really resonate with you, or maybe 1 or 2 areas of these where you need some help, you're struggling with. Guys, thanks for tuning in today and joining me on my Tips for Success Wednesday, guys. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.